Hey guys, imagine a parent getting up every single day telling you that he or she wants to go home. Meanwhile, that parent is actually at home. This sounds very funny, but it is so emotional. You know what? It is what happens with persons with dementia and Alzheimer's, and it's usually quite frustrating and challenging to family caregivers to deal with. And yes, welcome to this channel. If you are new, it is Aging Happily with Hilda, where we share tips on how we can actually age happily. We share some health and caregiver tips, all the stereotypes that surround aging, and how we can actually help seniors to age happily in the comfort of their homes for as long as possible. It's just fun, guys. I would really appreciate it if you like, share, subscribe, and most especially hit that notification button so that you catch up with any of the newly uploaded videos. And for those who have been watching my videos, I hail you all. Thank you so much. In today's video, I'm going to explain why someone with dementia or Alzheimer's will always ask to go home, though he or she is at home. And also, I'll be sharing some tips on how you can best handle such a request. So, I really want to plead with you to watch this video today, and because it's actually going to ease your communication with a loved one who has dementia. And yes, hearing someone say I want to go home over and over again can be so frustrating, especially if they are already home. But guess what? You can't use logic to explain to them that they are already home, or trying to tell them that they cannot go to their previous home, just in case if they were in a long-term care facility or assisted living. Remember, they have dementia and they don't reason like you and I. So using logic to explain to them where they are is just going to make things worse. So the best way is actually to give them that comfort and help calm down your older adult instead of putting more pressure or trying to use logic to explain things to them that they might not even understand. Let me explain to you why someone with dementia will ask to go home over and over again. Dementia or Alzheimer's damage the brain, and this will cause you to experience the world in a different way. So hearing someone saying, I want to go home repeatedly, is often a request for something else, maybe comfort, not necessarily going home as we say someone wants to go home. The best thing to do here is to follow them in their realities. Whatever they are saying, follow them in that realities. Focus on the comfort and reassurance and try to respond to the emotion behind that request of going home. Remember, the goal here is actually to reduce that anxiety and fear in your loved one so that they can actually let go of that idea of going home. You know, it's also going to be a great opportunity for you to check on what is actually causing that behavior, which could be pain or some sort of discomfort. The following are calming ways to respond to I want to go home. The very first thing is to reassure and comfort to validate their needs. Remember, I mentioned you want to follow them in their realities. So sometimes when you hear your older adult mention, I want to go home, that is actually a way for them to tell you that they are insecure, they are scared, they are in pain, or in some sort of discomfort. So by responding to them in a calm and positive manner, you will validate their needs and feelings, and this will actually make them to feel understood and supported, kind of. And if your older adult like hugs, this is the moment to give that hug. Some will just like or want you to just sit and chit chat with them, holding their hands, while some will love to have their stuffed animals, soothing blankets. And what about just simple strokes on their shoulders or their arms? It feels so comforting. And that will actually make them to feel that comfort and be reassured. Another tip to respond to I want to go home is to avoid reasoning, and explanation. Like I mentioned earlier, you want to follow someone with dementia in his or her reality. So trying to use reasoning or explanation is never recommended to someone who has a brain disease, to someone who has dementia or Alzheimer's, because they never understand. And what will happen is they just get agitated and more upset. So don't try explaining to them that they are not in their homes, or they left their homes some few years back, or they sold their homes. It's not necessary, because they are actually not going to process that information. They are unable to process all what you are telling them, and it's only going to push them to the wall. They're going to be more upset. So you want to try to avoid any reasoning or any explanation to someone who has dementia, because it's actually not going to be helpful. That's why you will see someone crying or complaining that someone with dementia hurt him or her. It's just because you didn't follow that person in his or her reality, and they'll give you that blow. Yes, because they feel like you don't care, you are not listening to them, or maybe you don't just like them to do what they love doing. So their best way to respond or to bring out that stress is to slap you or hurt you, or just do something that is not pleasant. Another amazing tip to respond to someone who wants to go home is by validating, redirecting, and distracting. It is actually proven that redirecting and distracting is a great tool. It's really a great tool to help someone with dementia. And how can you validate in a situation like this someone who wants to go home? It is very simple. Just saying, okay, we will go home as soon as I'm done cleaning these dishes is a very good idea. Put it that way, very simple. You will calm the situation, because you are not trying to turn down whatever they are trying to tell you. You are actually following them in that reality. You are not saying they are wrong. The moment you try to tell them, oh, they are wrong, or instead of just putting in as simple as I just outlined, it's just going to cause more hazard. Just follow them in that reality. I always say that. And yes, after you must have validated, you want to redirect and distract. It could just be like, oh mom, yes, it's time to go home. But mom, you know what? Let's grab a sweater. It can be cold out. So the time you go for sweater, bring some fun memories while going down the hallway, and if possible, stop for a quick coffee and engage them in some of the activities that they really like to do at that moment while having coffee. They must have forgotten that they were actually going to go home. You can even ask them information about their homes, or bring in something that is really distracting, something that will change that orientation about going home. It is fantastic, guys, the way these people work, the way persons with dementia behave. If you know exactly how to handle their situation, to validate their feelings, their needs, they are the sweetest people to work with. Trust me. Always think of it this way. These people, they have dementia. You need to improve that quality of life every day. So you want to walk around knowing those things that they like, how you can validate their feelings, redirect them, distract them. Just trying, figuring out how you can actually add a value to their lives. They are human beings like you and I, and they deserve that respect, that dignity, everything that typical human being deserve. I've come to the end of this video, guys. I believe it was so much of value. Thank you so much for watching, and please don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And please leave a comment on how you handle someone with dementia in the comment section below. I look forward to seeing you in my next video. Love you all.